How are we doing today, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into the back nine with myself, Mr. Gogster. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry we're a couple minutes late. Monday, getting over that long weekend. It was a good week, that's for sure, guys. Wyndham Championship, little quick recap for you. We made 13 units. Big thanks to Russell Henley cashing a 50-1 first round ticket. So that was money in the bank. We made 12 units on that. Overall, we're up 13.4, I believe. We tweeted it out all on Twitter, guys. Eagle47. That's where you can find our picks, recaps, and all that good stuff there. So it was a great time. Russell Henley just couldn't close the deal. If you guys were watching that tournament on Sunday, I was on the course, but I had it going on live. He missed some just tap-in putts I think you could do with the opposite hand with your eyes closed. So the guy had mad jitters. It's too bad because he was looking really good. 6-man playoff. We almost had Kevin Na get in there, but shout out to Kevin Kisner, the old Kisman. Took down the trophy there in the 6-man playoff. So great golf. It's really coming into the crunch time here. This is when guys start to get paid a lot of money. We're talking millions and millions of dollars here. Even if you make it to the top 30, which is the third round of the playoffs, we're going to be in the first or the third golf course. This is the first one at the Northern Trust at FedEx. This is the FedEx Cup Northern Trust. But the third one here, the top 30 guys in Atlanta are going to guarantee themselves no less than about $600,000 cash. That's American dollars. So this is the time when you're going to see some great golf. Dustin Johnson ran away with it last year. This year, it's pretty wide open here. Looking at the Northern Trust, some the scorecard guys, it's going to be, what do we got here? 77,387 yards. So it's about average. You're going to need a little bit of a distance off the tee. 7,400, we'll say, is not a short track compared to, say, like the Heritage where it's 68 or 69. So it's a par 72. You're going to have 4 par 5s. One of them 611 yards too. Let's go to the course, the holes here, guys. One of them is going to be 611 yards, number 8. Average, the par 5s are, what do we have here? Oh, that's wrong. On average, they're about 550 yards, 538, 611, 513, and 563. The par 3s, there's a 250-yard par 3. For anyone in the chat, 250 yards, that's a good 3-wood for myself. I don't know about you guys, but this is going to be a deep par 3. These par 3s on average are 203 yards, so you're going to need guys that are really strong with their long irons, 5.6, 4.56, depending on the golfer. Par 4s are not that long. There's 4 that are over 450, but then there's 3 that are under 400 yards. So some guys are going to maybe be able to drive it right to the green because there's not many trees that are really impeding their shots like some of these other courses where there's been trees hanging over their tee shots, or just really they could get hooked in a position where the trees are in play. Here, guys, there are trees, but it's wide open on the tee shot. So driving accuracy is not nearly as important, even though they're very tight fairways here, only about 25 to 28 yards in width. So it's a tight track. It's one of the favorite tracks. These guys love this one. Phil Mickelson actually has a membership out here. Personally, myself, guys, I like to compare this to Pebble Beach on the East Coast. Liberty National, it's on the skyline, of New York City. You can see literally the Statue of Liberty on the other side. It's in Jersey City. The weather's going to be pretty nice. You're looking at 30, 31 degrees all week. Shouldn't be too much rain. They're calling for some rain, but it's Monday, guys. We're going to wait till Wednesday's show to really have a better idea of what's going to happen for the weather. But yeah, it's 15-minute ferry ride from New York, so it's a great course. Architecture or design was by Tom Kite and Bob Cupp. 2006 is when it opened up, and it's 30. Oh, here we go. This is a good one for you guys. $300 million to design this course, to get everything that they had, to the soil, the sand, you name it. $300 million. It's the most expensive course in the last probably 20 years from what I've seen here that has been built. So this is one of the most pristine golf courses. If you want to see true putts, nice greens, fairways, this is going to be a golf course. You can almost eat your dinner. You could eat your lunch off these greens. They're so damn pristine. So this is a course where you're going to have to like bent grass putting. This is up north here, bent grass. It's not Bermuda, nothing like we've seen last couple weeks down south in North Carolina and Tennessee. So you're going to be looking at some tracks here that I found that are bent grass putting styles. One being the Barracuda that was just a couple weeks ago, and the Olympics in Japan, guys, that was also on bent grass. Let me just see if there's any comments here. Sorry, guys, I kind of stopped the train of thought there. But yeah, what's going on? Max on record there. Let's shout out to Max. Yeah, Henley, he cost me and you. Yeah, it was a bad beat, that's for sure. We still cashed his top 10, top 20, though, so that was great to see, Mac. he made up for old Brian Harmon, that son of a you know what. But looking at the putting greens here, guys, on bent grass, Olympics was bent grass, 3M Open, John Deere Memorial. We're going to get into those. Some guys that are putting very well on those tracks, because it's going to be very similar here at Liberty National. Also, one thing you guys would be surprised, it's actually bent grass in it's Bermuda down at Masters. I was going to say Masters was a close comparison, but these greens, guys, they're just sloping left, right, and center. It's not a flat track green. Greens are pretty big too. The fairways are undulating as well, so you're going to have guys that are going to be probably in the rough a lot. The rough looks pretty thick as well here. There's fescue, similar to you're going to see at the British Open and the Scottish Open. So that's a good course comparison. We actually have the Royal Portrush as one of the close comparisons to this course. So we'll get into that shortly. But yeah, this course, guys, there's if there's some wind also, if you get a little wind in play here, it's right off the bay there, the lake, or I don't know the lake there, unfortunately, up in Canada there. But you guys would know in the chat. The lake there, or the river splitting up New York and Jersey. You get some wind going there, it's going to make this track a whole lot tougher. Shout out to Dick Schnizzle. What's going on, my man? We're just breaking down like we've been doing all year long here at Pub Sports Radio. This Northern Trust Championship, guys. It's the first playoff track of 3. Top 125 are making this tournament, so there's no scrubs in this one. This is the best of the best, and it's wide open, really. It's a wide open golf course. You're going to have to really have really nice, pristine second shots, just like any golf course. But when you have greens, guys, that are they're dipping left, right, and center, you got to have someone that can you got to stick it up top. You can't if you're not hitting precise second shots, guys, you're going to be scrambling the whole damn time. And after a while, 4 rounds of golf, I can tell you from playing 36 on Saturday, it's going to get to you if you're not putting the ball in the right spot. So guys that have these really pristine second shots, about 175 to 200, 225, those are the key shots you're going to have to make here at this tournament. So let's get into some stats and some info here for you guys. Is that where the itinerary? Let's see, Open Northern Trust course history. So yeah, we pretty much went over the scorecard and some course history there. 2019, let's break down some results from 2019 here, guys. We're looking at distance off the tee, because if you can just shorten this track 7,400 yards for some of these guys, a lot of these winners too. Patrick Reed, surprisingly, he was actually ninth in driving distance at this track in 2019, and he won this in 2019. So you're going to have to be pretty deep off the tee. Those guys that were deep off the tee in 2019 were Rory McIlroy, 22-1, Justin Johnson, 16-1, Brooks Koepka, 22-1, Tony Finau, he's came up a couple times here, guys, 60-1, John Rahm, 10-1, JT, 25-1, Keith Mitchell, 300-1, Matthew Wolff, 150, Patrick Reed, as we were saying, 40-1, and Phil Mickelson rounds off the top 10 driving distance in 2019 at this track at 150-1. So sounds like a Z-Man track. Our guy Max is tossing in there. Z-Man is in Zalatoris. Zalatoris, I don't believe he made this. Did he there? I could be wrong, but I don't believe he qualified for this. Mac, prove me wrong, but I don't believe he's in, because if he was, I'd be all over him. I was watching a release from him a couple days ago. I think it was yesterday. He's looking forward to going over to Dubai and proving himself, because he can't go back to the Corn Ferry, and he hasn't been able to have a full card yet because of COVID to make it in the PGA. So he's kind of in limbo right now. So he's going to go over to Dubai, I'm pretty sure. But more stats on this course, guys. In 2019, also greens in regulation. Distance to the hole, proximity to the hole is another key one you can look at. But greens in regulation is going to be really big at this track. JT was first, 25-1 now. Rahm second. Cameron Champ was third. Varner, 175. He was fourth. Tony Finau again, fifth. Patrick Reed, Adam Hadwin, Vegas. Shout out to Jose here. Jonathan Vegas having a great season. He was eighth in greens and regulation in 2019. Abraham Answer, who placed second 2 years ago at this event, he was 30-1. And then Ian Poulter rounded out the top 10 in greens and regulation at 80-1. So those are some guys you might want to be taking a look at. Shout out to Wyatt here. Bubba, unreliable as always. Yeah. I wasn't a big fan on Bubba at this track. Let me just double check that. But I did not, I had him written down originally there, Wyatt, and I took him off the list. I don't believe his putting was right here. Bubba, though, at Bentgrass, I believe he's actually been doing all right. He's been half decent on some of our putting stats. Let me just do a quick look over here. Watson, or maybe am I wrong here? Let me just see Watson. Yeah, you know what? Watson is not coming up on many of these putting stats, so he could be a fade going forward. Just it's an open track, though. One thing with Bubba, in my opinion, you give this guy nothing but open daylight to hit that driver, and he's going to take advantage of it. He's deep off the tee, too, so Bubba Watson, I got to do a little more research on him there, Wyatt, but yeah, we'll take a look at him, but he was definitely unreliable last week. The Hook, what's going on, The Hook? What up, team? What up, fam? Thank you for tuning in here at the back nine. We're just going over some stats there from 2019 there, The Hook, on what happened at this tournament when Patrick Reed won. We're just going to now get into the top putters at that tournament, guys. Number one, you guys know this guy, Jordan Spieth. He was number one in putting at this tournament in 2019, and he's only getting better. So Jordan Spieth could be a guy you want to look at. He's only 16-1. The odds aren't in our favor there, but matchup bets, first-round matchup bets, maybe could be something you could be looking at come Thursday. Troy Merritt was second in putting here, guys, in 2019. Brian Stewart, Andrew Putnam, Kevin Kisner, Patrick Cantlay. Patrick Cantlay, big fan of this guy. His putting style, or his golf game is a little slow for me, but he's very precise, guys, with these second shots. I've been watching him for a long time. He won the Memorial on Bentgrass as well. If he can get a hot putter going at a track like this, he likes very precise. He's a weird guy, almost like a DeChambeau, but not as crazy. Patrick Cantlay. He's very precise with his irons. If he can just keep the driver straight off the tee, he could be a guy I could see definitely making like a top 20 at this field. You're getting great odds. Patrick Cantlay at this field, guys, 33-1. Yeah, that's really good number in my opinion. Wyndham Clark was seventh in putting at this 2019 tournament. Wyndham Clark was seventh. Rory McIlroy eighth, Max Homa ninth, and John Rahm and Patrick Reed were 10th and 11th to round this out. So John Rahm's another guy. He's came up on all these, fifth in driving distance 2019, second in greens and regulation, 11th in putting. So as long as this guy's, got over the COVID, which I imagine he hasn't golfed in about a month, he gets it going. He could be a horse that comes from behind. I can imagine him maybe not starting off the greatest. But John Rahm, guys, he's another breed of golfers that not many of these guys can get to. His level of competition want for, trophies, unlike a guy like Tony Finau. John Rahm, guys, he can close the deal. He's like a bull coming behind these guys, and a lot of them like to get out of the way when he's coming up behind him, especially wanting to. Another thing, guys, Memorial. Talking about Cantlay winning the Memorial, John Rahm should have won that. If it wasn't for his COVID, he would have won that tournament too. So look out for Rahm. There's a reason why he's 10-1 here. He's probably going to have a great tournament, in my opinion. Looking at this course, guys, some course tools that we like to look at, some course fit tool. Driving distance is going to be pretty important. Approach is number one. Approach is number one on this. Driving distance is 2. Putting is going to be 3rd. Driving accuracy would be 4th, and then around the green would be 5th. In my opinion, though, putting is going to be more important because around the green, the only problem is here, guys, if guys are chipping around the green, there's so much slope on these greens. When they're chipping on, it's going to be hard to hold it, depending on where the pin is. If you're short-siding yourself on some of these greens, it's going to be not an easy task. They're going to be running pretty darn quick at 30. That's going to be 30 degrees there with a lot of sun. It's going to dry up the course. So this is going to be a tough track for guys. In my opinion, around the green is going to be important, but putting definitely, you're going to be having a lot of probably 20, 30-foot putts just because if you miss up just by a tane hair, as we like to say on Jimmy the Bag Show, that can just put you 15 feet off the green or 10 feet away from your original target. So putting is going to be very important along with approach, in my opinion here, guys. Let's see here. We're not going to restart the computer here. We're just going to not even touch that. Sorry, guys, a little thing here saying want us to restart the computer. I don't think so. We got a live show, baby. But yeah, sorry, guys, we're going off about anything. Course tool fit, we just went over that. 3 courses that are going to be very similar to the Liberty National. Number 1, Shadow Creek Country Club. This is where the CJ Cup happened, guys, in 2021. It's also on Bentgrass greens, and the winner of that was Jason Kokrak. Jason Kokrak, he's very deep off the tee, so you got that going for him. his approach, if this guy gets on with it, he could be a guy top 20. Now that I think about it, Kokrak, he played last week. He didn't make the cut, which I think is a good thing. Didn't have to play 4 days of 30, 35 degree weather. So Jason Kokrak could definitely be a guy we could be looking at here. Just make sure we haven't had any issues here in the chat. No, we're good to go, guys. So Shadow Creek, the top putters were Jason Kokrak, Russell Henley, Xander Schauffele, Lanto Griffin, Harris English, Ian Poulter, Tyler Gooch, Cameron Smith, and Kevin Streelman and Brian Harmon. Those are the guys that thrived on that bent grass green back in, I believe it was February when they played the CJ Cup. Number 2 on our course comparison here, guys. The closest course we found from Liberty National, number 2, is going to be Olympia Fields Golf and Country Club. You might not know this track, guys. This is the 2020 BMW Championship. So top course, top field, really good golfers were at this golf course. So it was also on bent grass green / POA. John Rahm was the winner of that. No surprise. Number 1 putter was Todd. Surprisingly, Brandon Todd. He's at 160 to 1 right now. He was the number 1 putter last year at the BMW at a similar track to this one. Brian Harmon, again, he's came up a couple times. He likes to putt on these bent grass. Tony Finau, surprisingly. Tony seems to like bent grass as well. DeChambeau, Rahm, Answer, Cantlay, DJ, Casey, and Mackenzie Hughes round up the top 10 in putting at Olympia Fields, the BMW Championship last year. And approach is another key stats. We want to see what the approach game was at this course, guys. Number 1 was DJ, Neiman, Streelman, Fitzpatrick, Connors, Rahm, Griffin, Scheffler, Woodland, and Kokrak. Those are going to be guys you're going to want to focus on, in my opinion. One more track we're talking about it, guys. Royal Golf Course at Port Rush. Scottish Open course, wide open. What else could I say? But the green's going to be very similar. They're going to be dipping and diving, not as big as what they are over in Europe, but very similar track. Fescue, a lot of fescue, like we were saying at this course. Fescue over at the Port Rush. So winner of that was old Port Belly there. A guy likes to drink just as much as your favorite uncle does. That's Shane Lowry. He's 80 to 1. He took that down, and he had that trophy for a good 2 years. Tony Finau, if you guys don't remember, he was second place at that event. So Tony Finau might do a little bit more research. We all know he has a tough time closing it out, but top 20 machine this guy is. So maybe get some early action on Tony Finau. We'll have all of our picks, guys, Wednesday, same time, 3 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. We're going to try and get a special guest too. Stay tuned. And we'll have our picks. Hopefully another first-round leader, matchup bets, you name it, top 20s, 10s. Questions, whatever golfers you guys want. I'll give you my best information, best insight I can. And I look forward to this, guys. It's going to be real good golf. Weather should be nice. Let's keep going though. Port Rush, number 3 was Brooks Koepka. Brooks Koepka was third place in 2019 at Royal Port Rush. Tyrell Hatton was 4th. Patrick Reed was 5th. Alex Noren was 6th. John Rahm 7th. JT 8th. Stuart Sink 9th. And Matthew Fitzpatrick was 10th. At Royal Port Rush. A very similar track, bent grass greens as well. That's our 3 course comparisons for you guys. I'm looking more at the course, a little more details about it. We've already talked about how flawless these greens are, very just spectacular. I mean, you could eat off them. We were talking about, you could get the McDonald's. Well, don't bring McDonald's in there, but get some nice, high-class meal, nice restaurant food in there. And you're laughing because it's like we're saying, guys, just so pristine. Sorry, I'm going on about just trying to get a bad joke going again. Flawless greens, firm and fast, perhaps the best conditioned greens in the area you're going to play. A winding cart path. So there's a lot of cart paths. So guys could, if you're not exactly straight, you get that cart path bounce and you really be stuck in that fescue. Very unique green designs and needed 2 tons. You're going to need a lot of creativity. Based on these greens, you're going to need to be very creative, just like a guy like Jordan Spieth. Spieth's very creative on these type of greens, so he was first also in putting in 2019. So Jordan Spieth's a guy that checks those that list. And we talked about the heavy fescue as well, guys, just like the British Open and the Scottish Open. We're going to do the top 8 players that finished 2019. We've been going on about this 2019 track because it's only 2 years ago, guys. It's very similar golfers, in my opinion, that are still in the mix. That being first place, Patrick Reed. Second place, my guy, Abraham Answer. Third place was John Rahm. 4th, Varner. 5th, Adam Scott. He's not actually in it. Or is he? I have to do some double research. If anyone in the chat knows, sorry, guys, we kind of lost the chat questions there. We'll get right back to them. But if anyone knows if Scott's in it, let me know. But I don't believe he is. He is in it. Sorry, guys. Technology. Sometimes it's with you. Sometimes it's not. Okay, we don't want to restart this thing. All right, I'm gonna click this. Sorry, guys. I got to get rid of this notification. I can't see y'all. Don't show notifications. All right. Restart tonight. There we go. Whatever. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Koshak, baby, he needs to play hard. Kokrak, yeah, he does need to play hard. I think he will there, Mac. Not playing the last 2 days. I think that's a good thing for him. The heat was killer down there. What type of player archetypes does this course fit? Best long drivers, short knockers, Asian persuasion. Long drivers, they're wide. If you can be long off the tee here, it's all right if you're in the rough. It will be a little bit thick, but it's just because the fairways are so tight. But you want to take advantage of your distance, because if not, you're going to have a lot of 200-yard in shots. The average was, sorry, I got the drink in the hand here, but approach shots from 2019, guys, 200 to 225 was 21%, and 175 to 200 yards was 20.5%. Next closest was 125 to 150 at 16, but for the most part, 175 to 225 are going to be your second shots in, and that's not an easy for most of these. Well, for these guys, it's easy, but they're not used to necessarily hitting 225, 200-yard shots into the green, and that's going to be guys like maybe like Kisner, guys that aren't as deep off the tee. So Kokrak's deep off the tee. Same with Tony Finau. Let's go over our driving distance right now, guys. Top drivers in 2021 for distance is DeChambeau at 28 to 1. Rory McIlroy second at 22. Cameron Champ's third. Matthew Wolff fourth. Wyndham Clark to 750 to 1. There's a bomb for you guys. He's fifth. DJ sixth in driving distance. I think DJ is going to have a great tournament as well. He plays very well at bentgrass greens. And also last year at this time, guys, he just seems to play really good at fall golf. So shout out to Wyatt Chapman with the donut. Appreciate it there, Wyatt. We'll hopefully get a couple winners for you here. Like you said, any questions you got, guys, I'd love to answer them. That super chat will pay for a refurbished Pro V1, baby. That's right. Refurbished Pro V, man. You go. You know where everyone hits right and left. Why? You can go in there. Get some lawn, get some pants on, right? Get a bucket or a plastic bag and just go nuts. You know what I mean? Just throw them in there. Doesn't matter what it is. See that Titleist, Callaway, TaylorMade, Strixon. Bridgestone, those are the balls I like to keep, top flights, Slashingers, whatever. We'll throw those in the woods for the hacks. But yeah, I know. Appreciate that, Wyatt. Anyway, guys, top distance. Distance is going to be huge here. We'll go over it one more time. DeChambeau, Rory, Champ, Wolff, Clark, DJ, Vegas. Shout out to Vegas, Jose. Neiman, Woodland, and Koepka were the deepest this year off the tee. And top approach, because approach, we're talking about it, guys. It's going to be really important. In this, sorry, we got a phone call there. Geez, don't you know we got a show here at Pub Sports? Approach, shots gained in approach. Number one, not surprising, Morikawa 18 to 1. Really good approach game this year. Paul Casey second, JT third, Keegan Bradley's fourth, Russell Henley fifth, Daniel Berger, Matsuyama, Rahm, Hoffman, and Hatton round out the top 10 in approach shots gained. Hatton's been coming up a couple times as well. His temperament might be something we have to take into consideration, but he should play pretty well here. He did good in 2019. I believe he was top 20. So Tyrrell Hatton's one of the guys that kind of stand out for me. I'll have to do some more research. But Big Show picks. What's going on, Big Show? Shout out to Big Show on our Discord. You guys aren't on our Discord. That's the guy to ask right there. Big Show picks. He's got it going. It's always popping over there, guys. Picks, videos, you name it. We got it going on in our Discord. So check that out. Pretty much went over everything I think I want to go over here, guys. Barracuda, Troy Merritt. These are top putters. Troy Merritt, JT Poston, Stuart Wawrinski. The Olympics, you had Ortiz, Reed, Alexander Morikawa. 3M Open, another bentgrass. You had Wyndham Clark, Wawrinski, Noren, Wolff, and Harmon. John Deere, Stewart, Na, Lebioda, M. And Memorial was Hadwin, Merritt, Rahm, Tringali, and Homa. So Merritt's came up a couple times here. Might be a sneaky long shot, maybe a first-round leader. Stay tuned, guys. We'll have all of our first-round leaders, matchup bets, top 10s, 20s, outrights, you name it. We're going to have it for you. Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Put it in your calendars there. Mark it in your books there. Get your pipe ready because we're going to have a good time. No crack pipe, baby. Just that good stuff. Anyway, there's a chat. There's our Discord link, guys. Check that out. You can there's probably picks. There's shows going on all the time there. It's a good time, guys. Shout out to Wyatt here. He's a Ixnizzle. He's a Bridgestone guy. Oh, I don't got my Bridgestone. I made back-to-back birdies there, Ixnizzle, on 16, 17 yesterday. I found a Bridgestone on 15, and you know what, baby? I think it was an E6, one of those E6s. But yeah, Bridgestone's a great ball. Wyatt says there's a $5 waiting for you if you whip. What's he saying? That sexy flop shot. Oh, I gotta take this show live one of these days. We'll go to our course here, Trillium Woods Golf Course. Look it up there, guys. It's a nice track. Black Bear Ridge. Maybe we'll do a live show there. Get some flop shots out. Get all sexy with the flopper, eh? But anyways, we'll close this one out. It was a great time. Fade Woodland this week. Yeah, the Hook Woodland, he came up once or twice on our models, but for the most part, he's having a really bad season. I'd actually look twice the Hook to see if he made the top 125. But yeah, it's been a good time. Here, just go check out. We got a private message here. Shout out everyone in the chat before we go. Oh, yeah, we're going to definitely shout out everyone in the chat before we go. Wyatt Chapman, though, just saying Morikawa, solid fade. He's been slipping. Yep. And again, it's just slapping him all of the mojo. Yeah, you know, and also his girlfriend. You know, his girlfriend's traveling all the way around with him. I think they might have a baby on the way. You heard it here first. I don't know. I just see them a lot on Instagram and the Twitter. So maybe he's got something else going on, especially after winning so much. You know, he might as well pop out a baby. Maybe it's a winning baby. Anyway, yeah, yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Says Ixnizzle. The Hook, what did you fire on the second round the other day? Yeah, it was a 74, my man. 4 birdies, a double, a couple bogeys, but it was a good time. Driver was working, chipping. Man, we were chipping just lights out, but who cares about what I did? I appreciate you guys, though, interested. We'll be back Wednesday. I'm going to have some picks for you guys. I got some winners. I got a good feeling about this track. I'll have outrights. I'll have top 10s, top 20s. Matchup bets, guys. I'm going to be fading. We've been doing pretty good fading, guys. Last week was Charles Schwartzel, and this week haven't exactly figured out who we're fading. I know who we like, but stay tuned, guys. Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do a little shout out here to everyone in this goddamn chat, because you guys what make this happen. You know, what make me want to come on here and go, all right, let's go. Who's going to be on here today? Mac. So shout out to Mac, Wyatt, the Hook. Who else here? Yeah, the Hook, Wyatt, Ixnizzle, man. This guy's been an OG low bagger for a long time. Thank you so much, my man, for supporting. Big Show, thank you, Big Show, for jumping in the chat, my guy. Check out that Discord link he sent there, guys. It's a great time. There's hundreds of people on there, sports fans just like yourself that want to cash tickets. So we'll see you guys Wednesday for the same type of breakdown, but we'll have picks, and I'll go a little more in depth of why I like the players I do. And maybe we can get a special guest on. Stay tuned, guys. It'll be a good time. Pub Sports Radio. Check them out. Twitter, Instagram, Discord again. And we'll be back. I don't know how many more times I got to say it. 3 p.m. Eastern, baby. Wednesday. Pub Sports Radio. Check you guys later. Where's the bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe. Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.